Hello, hello, and welcome to our new episode of the Wonder Tooth podcast. Today we have a friend, a gorgeous lady, and a former beauty queen, and the director of the New Jersey Beauty Pageant. Welcome to our Wonder Tooth podcast, Ilsy.
Hello, hello. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be on this podcast.
We we're very excited to have you. So, Ilsy Hoo, who is Ilsy Hoo? Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so my name is Ilsy Hoo Connolly. Going to be married a year in about 10 days from now, a little bit less than 10 days from now. I'm a mom. I live in New Jersey in Monmouth County. I have two kids and one bonus son. He's in the Air Force, and my youngest is going to college. My oldest, she's in college already, and I love life. I love living life. My motto is live, love, and drink iced tea because that's the
Oh,
way it should be.
okay. Fantastic. And iced tea is actually good for your teeth. Well, tea in general is good for your teeth because it has fluoride. So there you go. And another good one from tea also, if you, well, I'm just talking about the dental part now. If you ever get a tooth extracted and you have a little bit of bleeding and you didn't bite like hard on the gauze, get a used tea bag, like, any
Oh,
tea bag, but it has to be cold and put it and bite on it. It has tannic acid so it can stop the bleeding. Boom.
I did not know.
Well, now we know. So tell me, Ilsy, how did you get involved with the whole beauty pageant? Like, what's going on?
Oh my goodness. So it started around a little bit after COVID. I was approached by the former director for New Jersey of the Mrs. America organization. They implemented a Miss category about a year before I started to compete. And she's like, someone recommended you. We would love to have you compete in the state pageant as the Miss category because I was unmarried at the time. And I thought about it for a second. And my first reaction was I thought I needed to be younger and a lot taller, given that I'm only 5 feet tall. I'm very petite. And she said, oh, no, this is a very diverse and inclusive pageant, all different types of women. We just wanted to give women who are either divorced or widowed but have kids as well or don't have kids to have an opportunity to compete in a pageant. And it's all about community service as well. And I said, yeah, sure. I asked my daughter about it. She said, why not? What's the worst thing to happen?
Mhm.
And I did it. And I love the fact that I was able to do a lot of community service. And especially since this was right after COVID, where we had the lockdown and we were finally getting out. So not only did I feel like I was able to give back because there was a lot of people that were either not being able to afford food or who might have lost loved ones due to COVID and they're unable to afford clothing, shoes for their kids or whatever the case may be, it gave me an opportunity to do some community service where I can. And I loved it. I competed in the state pageant and then I won. So I won my first time, never did pageants at all. But I have to say that one of the things that I think what the judges really liked about me is that I was being authentic to who I am.
Mhm.
Also, I come from a corporate background. I worked in corporate America for over 25 years. So I know what it is to do some public speaking and to present well. And I really did my homework. I had all my outfits ready. I did my walking and pageant walking, and I practiced and I put a lot of effort into promoting the pageant on social media and my platform, which was domestic violence awareness,
Mhm. Mhm.
especially as a survivor myself. I wanted to ensure that I highlighted those things and then I won. And so it was such an
Amazing.
amazing experience. Amazing. I've met so many amazing women, women that actually, some of them came to my wedding last year because
Wow.
so close to them. And then I became the executive director. And so it's been such a rewarding journey. And I still work full time in my corporate job, but it lines well with what I'm doing in pageantry. And it helps me also build leadership skills for these women that come to me who really want to learn about that or really
Mhm.
want to learn about networking. And
Mhm.
I just figured, I always tell them, whatever you learn from me, just pay it forward. Show somebody else what you've learned. Because with that, we could build a really great and strong community of women that support each other and young women as well.
Yeah. And I think this is really the part that's why I am interviewing you here, because there is a misconception about, oh, Miss Universe, Miss USA. It's not just like, of course, you every girl or every woman or every boy or every man, you have your own beauty. But the fact that you come to represent a special platform, you are raising awareness to a special community platform. That's really the big thing. And this is the big part that a lot of people, they don't understand. This is why I was like amazed when I went to attend the Mrs. World, like in February. I was like,
Mhm.
that's incredible. I was inspired by the women there, because all of them really, they're all like, well, they all like very well, like achieve, like they have their own jobs, they are all like, they have their careers, but yet they came and they managed to go on stage. And I bet that was like, I would be like a wreck. Like it needs a lot of courage to do it, but they
Yes.
did this to represent and to raise awareness about certain platforms, which is very, very important. And you guys, you do it with a lot of grace, and it's very inspiring, really. So what made you, why specifically the domestic violence?
So domestic violence, and I call myself a survivor, is because I was involved in something where I had a former boyfriend of mine was stalking me and was doing things that in a
Wow.
way that wasn't right per se. And it took a while for me to kind of get over that. But with that said, there was a lot of laws in place that really wasn't working for women. And what I found that there wasn't opportunities for women to really have a voice at the time.
Mhm.
There's different platforms that and organizations out there, but when it comes to law, the criminal justice system, it wasn't until something happened where at the place I worked, where the Manhattan DA's office had to get involved because it was based out in New York where I worked at the time, and that's when things started to pick up. But on a local side, they wouldn't do anything. It was almost to the point that I had to be harmed in order for anything to happen.
Wow.
And so, I was very fortunate to be able to have the support I needed in that sense with, the Manhattan DA's office taking it seriously. Um, but then there was other things that were going on that, domestic violence for men as well. Men
Hmm.
are also victims of domestic violence and they're not taken seriously because there's instances, well, you're a guy, like, what do you
Yeah.
mean you're being
Yeah.
abused? And that was really big for New Jersey where men weren't being taken seriously. And I've known people, men that actually are victims, and the first thing that's happened to them when they go to court is like, oh, why are you here? Your attorney sent you. And I was like, well, no, I am the victim, and here's my proof. And then they kind of step back and they realize that they are wrong. And so it's the tone that needs to be changed. And I know there was laws that was trying to be passed in that sense. Or for instance, domestic violence victims, there's where if you're married and you have joint kids and you're the victim and you're the higher earner, you still at some points have to pay your abuser, alimony.
Really?
Yes.
What?
Yes, because that's just the way the law is written. They don't take to the account that you're a victim. And, those are the things that, to this day, I'm not sure if it's passed because I knew when I started this journey in the beginning, it was something that has not been passed. It's always been reviewed and nothing really happens. And it was one of those things that it was like, it's so heartbreaking to hear that it's financial abuse that will still happen.
Wow.
They may not have their abuser around them, but financially they're still being abused. And so, those are things that, I really wanted change with, but there's a lot of politics involved. There's a lot of red tape involved with that.
Mm-hmm.
So what I was able to do is partner with Victim's Voice. And Victim's Voice is an app that you can download into your phone, which is all encrypted. It's everything about technology in it that is safe for the victim. They don't
Mm-hmm.
house any information about you, but you give that information to your attorney, and your attorney could use it in court. And it has been used in court in a favor
Wow.
for the victims. And Victim's Voice, I became a board member during my reign, and I still highly support them. And I really hope one day, they get bigger partnerships, whether it be with Verizon or AT&T, because they're such a good platform, and they have so many great resources for victims that they just need more awareness. But that was my way of supporting them, is raise more awareness of what they're doing. And I truly
Mm-hmm.
hope one day that there'll be a law that passed that actually supports victims, male and female, because on a financial level and in, an abusive level, physical
Yeah.
level, because those things are just so terrible, absolutely terrible.
Wow, I've never heard of. So the victim voice, so what do you record? Like you record your story, you tell what happened to you?
So it is an app that you could store on your phone. And it also has like a safe code that you could have that it disappears, I believe. And
Mm-hmm.
you could upload documents, you could upload notes and things like that of that nature. And then you could have everything printed out, and you could give that over to your attorney to submit to court. It's more in detail what you could do in it, but everything is protected. Even Victim's Voice don't house the name. Once you buy the license yourself for your
Mm-hmm.
phone, you keep it. So they don't own anything because it's a privacy thing, and they take that very seriously. And so it's a really good app. It's not really expensive, and it's one of those things that women and men have been using to ensure that they could get themselves protected. Because when I was documenting everything that I was going through,
Mm-hmm.
I wrote down everything by hand.
Mm-hmm.
And when I
Mm-hmm.
had to hand everything was handwritten. And so I handed in, it would have been so much easier if I just document everything into this app. And so um, this was something that I felt really passionate about supporting. And so I adore the owner, Sherry. She's amazing. And she's on this quest of making sure that there's more people out there that has this specific app.
Wow. Well, I want everybody who's listening to us now. I mean, if you know of somebody or if you yourself is experiencing any of, some sort of abuse, maybe you should look into that. Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah, and there's plenty of organizations out there that support domestic violence victims. You just have to find them, the right organizations that would help you,
Mm-hmm.
especially when you feel that you're not being heard by local officials, the police department. But there are plenty of organizations out there that can guide you the right way.
Wow, that's amazing. Um, so from that platform to becoming the executive director of the New Jersey Beauty Pageant, what happened? What?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, so many things happen. I'm have to say that I'm so blessed. When I competed at nationals, I injured myself 2 weeks before, and I was
Oh,
put into a boot, and I had
what?
crutches because I was working out, I was getting prepared, I was feeling excited, and then I tore a tendon in my foot, and it was like, oh boy.
God.
But with that said, it was a blessing because it forced me to slow down and watch all the other women compete and be a cheerleader and take it all in.
Mm-hmm.
And that in itself was amazing. And that's when I realized I was more of a pageant mom. And so it was great. And then my director at the time, she's an amazing person. Her and her husband was at my wedding. I was helping her recruit people and, just trying to help her out because that's just the type of person that I am. And I was very
Mm-hmm.
grateful for her as well. And she needed to step down for personal reasons, health reasons, and she asked me if I wanted to be the director if it was approved by Mrs. America
Wow.
organization. And I thought about it because I have a family, I work full time,
Mm-hmm.
wanted to make sure this was something that I will be able to be very good at because anything that I try to do, I try to do my best.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, sure. And she got approval. And then it was in June. Oh gosh, it was June. And then in September, I had the first New Jersey pageant under my name.
Wow.
So I was able to crown the next queen and be the director at the same time and put on a production. And it was amazing.
Wow.
We had about 85 people in attendance for the pageant.
That's a
And
lot
it's a
just for New
lot.
Jersey.
And then my Miss Queen that I crowned actually was top 16 at the Miss for America Strong pageant. So
Wow.
first year directing, and then I had a miss that actually placed. So it was such a good year that year, and it was just amazing.
That's really, really wow. How do you, like, you're a mom, you're working in corporate, how do you manage this? How do you balance all of this together?
Sometimes I just do it, quite
Mm-hmm.
honestly. When it gets a little crazy, there's different waves when it comes to pageantry. You do have your off season, and
Mm-hmm.
then you have the season where it's really you have to get to recruiting and production and making sure that everything's aligned. And I basically do a lot myself. I'm very process oriented mindset, and so. I do a lot of my day job, my career during the day, and then some of the pageant at night or on the weekend. That's how I balance things out. And I also know when to stop and also just be with family and have some downtime for myself because I feel that's important.
Yeah.
Is very important. My children are older. One's going to college, the other was in college. And they were always very self-sufficient. They're such great, amazing kids that if I had toddlers, I don't think I would be able to do directing. I think
Mm-hmm.
it would be too much for me. And that's just being completely transparent. I'm very fortunate to have very self-sufficient kids. But it's a balancing act, and there's times that I have to pull back and not attend events that I'm being invited to, or I have people that want to collaborate with me on their business or their projects.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I have to say, no, I'm sorry, I just don't have the bandwidth to be able to support
Mm-hmm.
this time. Because I have to be true to myself and allow myself to have some peace and some downtime. But I write notes. I have a book that I write, things that I want to accomplish for today, every day.
Wow.
I write a book on gratitude and, what is it that I'm thankful for, my affirmations. And then I put down, at the end of the day, what went well, what can I improve on? And it's just simple as this is what I do. And it helps me. And I
Yeah.
meditate. I meditate every morning. I started doing that a few months ago. Just really about self-awareness, calmness. I have to thank my good friend and former queen, Marta. Um, she's been a really huge inspiration on me, and she's always very calm and very zen, but yet she works really hard. And I always wondered what it was. And then she invited me to Tulum, where I found where she takes her time to kind of decompress. And that's it.
Mm-hmm.
That just totally changed my mindset about meditation and just keeping a calm and drama-free life.
Yeah. To keep
Yeah.
yourself centered too. Yeah.
Centered, yeah. And
Yeah.
gratitude, show more gratitude. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. D- since the whole COVID thing happened, I feel people, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but people are very impatient now. Everybody was like, yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a combination of several things. We live in
Mm-hmm.
a society where it's very much technology based.
Technology. Yeah.
Right. And so everyone is looking to see, what is it that they can do to improve themselves. And they go to technology to see that. It could be good and it could be bad because
Mm-hmm.
everything is so immediate when it comes to technology. which is something I think our society needs to understand, is that you need to disconnect from it. And if you're
Mm-hmm.
constantly looking at technology, really think about, why are you looking at, let's say, your phone or an app when you're supposed to be productive?
Mm-hmm.
Is it because you're bored? Is it because you feel lonely? Is it because that, you don't like what you do with your life or your job? Really look at the core reasons why you're constantly connected, and then set timers to disconnect if you're on your phone to remind you. And
Mm-hmm.
a lot of these apps have that now. And so, that's what it came into everyone, constant, always, just the mindset is like, go, 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 go. And we're in a
Yeah,
competitive environment as well. So I hope that one day we could kind of pull that back and kind of go back to a little bit of the basics of really sitting down, taking it all in, really focusing on one thing that you're working on, and then enjoying the moment.
yeah,
Because more that we go so fast, we tend to like not stop and appreciate the things that are around you and enjoying the moment. And
I
it's
agree.
it's really hard to do, because
Yeah.
I am a go, go, go type person, and I stopped. I
Mm-hmm.
stopped. And there's times that when I'm taking pictures of my pageant queens, or I'm at an event and I stand there in quietness, people might take it as I'm being a little reserved, but I'm actually enjoying the moment, and I'm taking it,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm observing everything and everyone. And I'm feeling gratitude, especially when I see my queens and they're enjoying spending time with each other and laughing. That makes me happy when I see them
Mm-hmm.
that way.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me, just being at peace and enjoying what I see in front of me. So I hope more people will understand that and do more of that. Life is
Yeah.
so more fulfilling when you just pause.
This is a great actually, this is fantastic. I think all of us, we kind of need to a little downtime,
We
a
do.
little bit of downtime. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
we do.
So during, like, you're so busy, what are, like, tell me three of the biggest challenges that faced you as, executive director of the beauty pageant, as a mom, like three biggest challenges.
So one of the biggest challenges is trying to market to women to understand that it's more than a beauty pageant. It's
Mm-hmm.
it is, we call it, you're elevating yourself to be the better version that who you are or who you want to be. I'm a firm believer that everyone has a vision or a purpose. Everyone's purpose is might be different, and it may not align with what you think it might be. But what I'm able to do is provide support so that you could find your purpose and you can understand what it is that you're looking to accomplish by that. Because I have women that come to me and they're thinking about competing, but they're so scared, or they're not sure, or they hesitate. And it's like, well, you're coming to me for a reason. So in your mind, there is something in your heart as well that you want to give more, but you just don't know what it is, how to identify that. So, that's one of the difficulties I have, is getting that message out, is that, you know, come to us if you want to really find what your purpose is. If you're a woman of vision, if you're a woman that knows that want to give back some more, but don't know where to go, we're
Mm-hmm.
here to support you. And then the second thing is that also is the work-life balance. Although I do balance it
Yeah.
really well, I do, but it's a constant work. I have to constantly make sure that I don't overbook myself, or I don't, over agree to do something, or, my work isn't, failing in that sense, just making sure that I'm always improving on everything. So that's one thing. And then the third one is, um, for me, I'm such a giver that when I'm happy, I give a lot, and that sometimes I have to like step back a little bit, because my intuition sometimes tells me that, not everyone is the same way, and just to make sure that I know when to kind of like pause and set boundaries, because that's something where someone could take advantage. But I'm just naturally a giver. I feel that I'm here for a purpose to help people and to be better version of themselves and to give back to community. If I have money to give, I'll give to a nonprofit organization. Um, that's just who I am. So, you know, just finding that balance, it's important to me as well. But overall, I just live a very calm, peaceful life. I'm very grateful for my family and my husband and my children and everyone who's come to support me, the organization, and the women. Um, there's nothing like it. This year has been just an amazing experience of women just evolving and showing a lot of great positivity and sisterhood and embracing each other. It's been such a rewarding experience, and just for them to actually acknowledge me as well was a first. You know,
Yeah.
that was a first. I mean, I have to show it because they were gonna watch this. I know they're gonna watch this.
Yeah.
Presented me with an award,
Wow.
and it's pageant director of the year, and it has my name on it, and it surprised me with this on stage.
Amazing.
It's amazing. It's just it's so emotional to be able to be acknowledged that way, which me personally, I'm happy with just a thank you. That's just how I am. But for this, it's just like above and beyond. And then they gave me this collage of scrapbook, and
Oh, that's so pretty.
it's so pretty. And they
But
have
you,
like memories of us together when we first
wow. Oh,
started.
wow.
And it's just they wrote beautiful things in here. Um, and one of them is there's there is nothing more beautiful than someone who goes out of their way to make life beautiful for others.
That tells a lot about you, Ilsy, actually. That tells a lot. Are you gonna cry now? Don't cry.
How beautiful this is.
Yeah. Wow.
This when we went
Yeah.
to the baseball game. We my husband and I treated all the families to the Lakewood baseball game, and I bought like all these tickets because they reached out to me. It's like, sure, I'll buy the tickets, and I bought these tickets. I had so many tickets, and I
Mm.
said, you know, bring your family. Let's all get together because to me, it's like it's about family. That's our motto for Mrs. America: is we are family.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And some of the delegates' kids never been to a baseball game before. This was their first time, and just had fun. My husband and I,
Wow.
you know, the kids popcorn or Cracker Jacks. We just gave them out as they showed up, and we had such a great time. And for them to make this scrapbook was just amazing. I was very emotional, and I'm very grateful for something like that. For anyone to think of me like that, you know, I'm just happy with thank you, quite honestly. But this was
Yeah.
just above and beyond, and
Yeah.
I actually have it on my bookcase behind me. I just took it down for this interview, but I keep it up there so I can look at it every day.
So what made it very special this year then? You must have done something like other than the baseball, like you just showering them with kindness, I would suppose. Like,
It was very different this year. All the other classes I adore all of them
mm-hmm.
because they're all special queens. This year felt different. I had a sense of women who were joining, they were really looking for something bigger. Like they were looking for some sort of purpose or some sort of guidance. And I was able to put together workshops that had special, like different types of speakers that helped them leading up to the pageant. And it was in a way that they all supported each other. And we have like a group chat and they was cheering on each other, cheering with each other, going to each other's community service events. Um, just that support system was nothing like it that I've seen before. And so it was just a special group in a sense that they all still communicate with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Even the queens that did not win a title, I went to one of the delegates' fashion show where she launched her swimwear line, and one of the winners went and actually was on the runway. Like it was
Wow.
just there's different aspects of you know, the support that still remains to go forward, which is really nice to see. And it was different when they competed on stage, and you could feel the energy, and people told me this too, that you feel the energy of positivity. And when
Mm-hmm.
someone did not win, it wasn't that they looked upset. They were actually cheering for the winners that were
That's
winning
amazing.
titles.
Yeah. Yeah.
And and that's just beautiful, because that's what you want as a director. You don't want anyone to walk away feeling like they've been defeated. And I think that helps with getting them together as a group as well, which helped, I think, as well. But also having the workshops where I had a workshop leader that talks about being a cheerleader for yourself. And I have other workshops that involves, thinking about yourself and your self-confidence. I think that's really important to have when it comes to being
Mm-hmm.
a director, is to build that person within, because if they don't win, what happens next? I don't want to send anyone away feeling depressed, which I
Yeah.
think happened in the beginning when I started. I found out someone, was very depressed or very sad, and that made me feel horrible, because I don't want them to feel that way. I want them to feel, if they're investing their time and money, because it is an investment to compete in pageantry, and time away from their family to do community
Mm-hmm.
service or taking these workshops and training, they're going to get something from it in return. And I think that's
Mm-hmm.
important. It's important for them to feel like they walked away with something. And some of them
Yeah.
walk great friendships and great leadership skills and great networking opportunities. So that was different this year. And at this pageant, it was the first year we had 185 attendees.
Wow. Really? That's a lot.
Had 185 attendees, and it was the biggest ever. And I moved it from Atlantic City to Williams Center, which we will have next year on May 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the biggest pageant that we've had. And it was just the support system. That is all the support system that was there. And it was just amazing. I hope to make it bigger and better. And it's just, I'm just so grateful from it.
Fantastic.
Exhausted, but grateful.
I bet that's like you need to sleep for a whole week after this. Like that's wow. Yeah.
Well, my feet were very tired. It's okay. It's worth
That's
it.
yeah. So how can people apply? I mean, what are like certain criterias? Tell us a little bit about it.
Right. So how can people apply? Which is a good question. So we accept every woman that is 18 plus, married, unmarried. If you're married, you have to be legally married. If you're unmarried, you have to be legally not married. You can't be separated.
Mhm.
And our website is NewJerseyAmericaPageant.com. And you just go on to how to apply, and you click on the link, and then you submit a form. And then once you submit a form, then you could I'll reach out to you, or someone will reach out to you. You could also go to MrsAmerica.com, and they also have a form there that says to apply. And they will
Mhm.
route it to the correct state to where you want to apply to the pageant.
Mhm.
So if there's
Mhm.
anyone here that's interested and doesn't live in New Jersey, you could go to mrsamerica.com, and they would route that information to that director, state director. So they could reach out to you. But there's criterias. I ask for, honesty, someone to be honest, say who you are. If you're a woman that's looking to be supportive amongst other women, because I do not condone women that are not supportive of each other, or show bad behavior. I don't want to make an experience bad for any other woman that's competing.
Mhm.
And if you're looking into giving back to your community in any way or form, shape or form, then you could come as well. That's what we're looking for. Really good-hearted, authentic women who are looking to do something for themselves. I've been getting women in healthcare lately,
Mhm.
which is
Mhm.
interesting. And I think the common theme there is because they don't want to wear scrubs. They just want to get,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
true. It's true. They
Yeah.
don't want to wear scrubs. They want to feel feminine. And
Yeah. Look at I'm putting my hair down now. I mean, usually
yeah,
it's up and I'm running and yeah.
yeah. And it's a way of getting back your femininity as well. And that's where I got the walking lessons with Fanny Modeling Academy. She's amazing. She's our choreographer, and she does the pageant walking lessons. It's getting that femininity back, putting on the shoes, and it's really feeling that and embracing it with your sash sisters as well. It's just,
Mhm.
it's intoxicating when you have that around. It gets you away from the other things. So you're
Mhm.
really doing it. So those are like the criteria. I'm very easygoing. That's really all it is, you know. And then
Mhm.
the winners go to the national competition in Las Vegas, which our winners will be going, are three. I'm excited for them. And it's, you know, you get your hotel is paid, your airfare is paid. It's amazing. We have amazing sponsors like you. And we have just like amazing people that really support the pageant system. We're always looking for more sponsors and businesses because it, you know, it is a pageant that, you know, a lot of these women pay out of pocket to do things, to travel and
Yeah.
everything. You know, I have production, everything like that, but we're looking for business sponsors that are looking to support women because we're not just a beauty pageant.
Mhm.
We are, I'll have to say it, queens with a vision and
Community leaders.
community leaders, and we collaborate really well. And we just want to support each other and support our communities.
Mhm.
That's all it is. And
Mhm.
step away from being a mom, employee, wife, you know, just want to do good things. That's it.
Mhm.
That's all we want to
Mhm.
do is really good things. And so anyone's interested can reach out to me and through you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm on social media too.
Yeah. I'm gonna put all the, you know, the how to contact you, everything on in the show notes. So what are the advices then? What do you advise men and women? I mean, you've been through a lot. Men and women, really, especially the domestic violence part and also the beauty part. And the beauty is not like how to feel beautiful inside and out.
Yeah. So my advice is that for men and women is always remain authentic to yourself. And if you feel that there's something that needs to be said out to the world and you need to support, there are resources out there for you. I know that times could be very difficult, where people might say, especially in a pageant, why are you doing that? Why do you want to, you know, partake in something like that is superficial? For every one person that is negative, there's going to be five other people that's going to be positive and cheer you on. And so know that people are there to support you. And for victims of domestic violence, there are resources out there. Don't ever feel that there's no way out. You just have to look for resources as well. And you can reach out to me because I'll be able to provide resources that be able to help you. And so just know that everything is temporary. The hard times are temporary. I've been through my own hard times. Many women have been through the hard times. There's always a better way of life. Just have patience. Take
Mm-hmm.
time to enjoy the good things too,
Mm-hmm.
because when we reflect on all the bad things, that's all you're going to see.
True.
Show gratitude for the good things as well. Because when you open that door up to let good things come in, it will continue to flow in.
Yeah.
And then find peace with yourself. And that's it. Just live, love, and drink iced tea.
And smile.
And
You have
smile.
to smile. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Wow,
the best
Ilsy, that
medicine
was, yeah.
is the best medicine is smiling.
Mm-hmm.
And thanks to
Your
you.
your muscles, you know, your face, the whole thing. Yep.
Yeah, it
Yep.
actually lifts up your
Yep.
cheekbones.
Yep. A little bit. No Botox needed. There you go.
See? You don't need fillers.
Mm-hmm.
Up your
Mm-hmm.
cheekbones. It helps
Mm-hmm.
this too when you do that.
Mm-hmm.
So you
Mm-hmm.
don't get like the little,
Yeah.
what do you call it? My mother used to put a little turkey thing where
That was funny. That was a lot of
And
fun today.
if you need Botox on your forehead, do what I do. Just get bangs.
Get bangs and then you can get the crown too. That
Get the crown.
helps. The crown. Yeah.
It covers it.
Well, that was super fun today, Elsie. I really want to thank you so much for a very nice, entertaining, and very informative episode today. I know why people are going to ask me, like, what's this to do with teeth? I like to, I feel empowered myself. Like, I've been through a lot, and a lot of my friends and a lot of my patients, they know what I've been through. But you have to stay true to yourself, and you have to speak up, and you have to fight for what is right.
Yes.
So that's what I do. Like, I keep going, just like Dory, keep swimming, keep swimming, keep swimming. Let's keep swimming. So that's what I do. But I do like, okay, well, let's keep smiling.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And I want to thank you very much for this really, really nice episode today. And for anybody who is listening to us today, if you or of anybody you know is experiencing any domestic violence, please make sure to reach out to certain organizations, or even to Ilsy, or you try to get that app. And I'm going to put everything in the show notes, because you're not alone. We are here for you. And all those other organizations are here for you as well. So you are not alone. You have to remember that.
Absolutely.
And yeah. And thank you very much, Ilsy.
Thank you. Thanks for having
Appreciate
me.
that.
You're
Appreciate you.
inspiring yourself.
I appreciate you a lot. And keep smiling, guys, because you know what? This is going to take care of all of this. Okay? Yes. Don't forget to keep smiling. Have a good one, everybody.